Good afternoon. I'm just back from going to the post office and dropping off a parcel, and I also went through the charity shop just in case anything there, and I did pick up this Go for Broke board game for £2.50 from Sea Rider, so I think that's about £10 on eBay, so that's not bad. She did say, interestingly, though, it hasn't been checked for completeness, so if it's not complete, you can bring it back, which I've never heard before, so that's interesting. Whether or not it's on the matter entirely, but interesting. Also, while I was there, I noticed a sign they were advertising for volunteers who have eBay experience. Anyway, today's video, what I really want to talk about was my major limitation when it comes to reselling. My major limitation when it comes to reselling. Because I said it a few places elsewhere, but I've not really mentioned it here, though you've probably worked it out. I can't drive. I have a driving license, well, I have a provisional driving license because I got that for ID, because I was getting ID for paracetamol and Sainsbury's all the time, because I don't drink either. So the only way I have ID is literally so I can get paracetamol from Sainsbury's. That's the only reason I got it. That's my major limitation, that I can't drive, and that doesn't seem like a major limitation when you first start, but you gradually start to realise what a big deal driving is and how much easier it makes doing it. Number one, I have to get up even earlier than everyone else to get to the car boot sales. Now, and some of them you can't even get to. I mean, there's one around here that's closer to me than the ones I go to, because if I could drive, it would take about 20 minutes. But because I have to take the bus, there's no bus that goes from here to that car boot sale. There's a bus that can get there, but it takes about an hour and 40 minutes to have to go from here through the centre and then back out again. That's about 3 of them that I can think of. They start at about 7 o'clock, so public transport that day, time of day, bit iffy, especially on a Sunday. I can't feasibly get to, realistically. So the ones I can get to, they start at 8 o'clock. No, that's a lie. They start at 8:30 and they start supposed to start at 12, which are more feasible to get to. And I can get to one of them. One of them still takes 2 buses. So it takes about an hour and a half to get to. But I can get there, and get there for near enough. Well, I can get there for the start. For both of them, I can get there for the start. I can walk for the other one. Both of them are 2 buses. One of them I can walk from the centre to get there, so it's not too much of a problem. So that's the first thing. Literally getting to car boot sales is problematic, or getting to most of them is problematic, particularly when they start so early. The second problem with not being able to drive is you can't carry very much. Now, I am looking at getting a trolley for next year, or something that I can carry on the bus to actually transport stuff from car boot sales home, because at the moment I'm limited to what I can carry, which is 2 bags, and if they are books, they get very, very heavy. If it's board games that I pick up a lot of, then it's just weird and hard to carry board games in 2 bags. There can be strange shapes, and trying to squeeze them in bags can be interesting. Those are the 2 big disadvantages about not having a car or that mode of transport. It makes things a bit tricky. So, like I've already said, one way I'm trying to alleviate or solve one of those problems is to get a trolley for next year that is portable enough to carry on the bus and not be too much of a problem. So it'll increase the amount of stuff I can carry. But obviously, physically getting to car boots, that can't be resolved without getting a car, unless you get a taxi each time. And I'm not sure for the amount that I pick up, a taxi is that economical to do. So why don't I want to drive? Simply, the cost just seems prohibitive to me. I look at the cost of driving, I look at the cost of learning to drive, and I just think, and then the insurance, it's just like, I don't feel I can sustain that amount of money coming out of my account every month. Also, I don't feel for any other person in my life that I'd need a car. And then I come to probably the bigger reason why I don't really want to drive. I feel I'd be a danger. I feel I'd be a danger to the roads. I'm pretty sure you shouldn't just compare yourself when you play video games to driving in real life, but I crash far too often in video games, and that just makes me more nervous if I'm wanting to drive in the world. I feel I'm far safer getting the bus. I'm kind of thinking, are there any other ways that I can do reselling that can maybe provide the bulk of the income, then car boots and that just be an additional form of income on top of it? And I've been looking around, And obviously from watching other videos, you can get wholesale second-hand clothes. So I'm looking at maybe experimenting with that maybe for the next week or so. So you might see a mystery box of clothing up here or a mystery bag of clothing up here, and seeing how we get on with that. Also, that'll be a way of researching clothing, because I've done clothing before, but I did that as exchange store, which is where the stores, so the big high street stores, sell on their leftover stock at the end of the season. They sell it on to chain store wholesalers, and then they sell it on. Problem with that is that if you list it anywhere, you can't specify the brand or the label, even though they are mostly the ones that I had. I've still got the tags on, still the labels, so you can still tell what brand they were. And the conditions they specify, you're not allowed to mention it. So I imagine they'd be quite hard to shift on eBay, or at least I found it hard to shift. I shifted most of what I had when I tried it a couple of years back. But I imagine they'd be quite a hard sale, unless you've got stuff that's actually on trend or people are actually looking for at the moment. I know some people sold it including labels, but I'd be wary because that's breaking the conditions that they sell it to you under. So I have found a couple of second-hand clothing wholesalers, and I know a couple of them sell reasonably small quantity. I've got enough cash saved up at the moment from reselling this kind of stuff, to be able to buy a small bag of stuff to experiment. And also that would kind of lead to experimentation and some research into what sells clothes-wise, because then I'll be able to see what's actually selling from what I've listed and actually have stuff to look through, rather than just going to charge someone going, I don't know what I'm looking for. So that's my limitation, my major limitation, and one way I'm looking at resolving it. So we will see. So that's also the direction town's going. So now all I'm going to do now is take some pictures and board games, do some more listing, and I'll list that this afternoon. Fairly sure there's going to be no car boot sales this weekend because it is pouring with rain still here, so the fields are going to be horrible. Richard has already said we are on, but I'm not convinced it will be on. If it is on, it's going to be quite small. So I don't think they'll get it on this weekend. I do have a clearance shop up the road, which I might investigate tomorrow if it's not too bad. Because last time I went, it was pouring with rain, and it was not nice going into that because it's quite close space. So, yeah, we'll see. We will see. So yeah, listing this afternoon still. Other little things I want to do. Anyway, I hope that was interesting. It probably wasn't. If it was, please hit the like button, subscribe, and maybe I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.